Well, hello guys and welcome back to the channel. And today's video is another Vanover collective collaboration. You're going to see all their logos appear here and there'll be details of their channels down below in the information in the video. Go and check them out. We've all got a lot to offer from various different angles, whether it be camping, caravanning, campervanning or motorhoming. Whether it be in the UK or a little bit further afield in Europe. Check them out because they're really enjoyable vlogs. Let's get on to today's subject. And this is a slightly different subject really, but it's something I think I'm going to enjoy talking about. And it's my vlogging setup, my filming setup, my cameras, the various bits of equipment I use when I'm out and about and also when I'm home here in my office, studio, whatever you want to call it, my spare room, whatever you want to call it. Anyway, my whole attitude to doing this is to not have too much equipment in the sense, and that's going to sound like a contradiction when you see some of the stuff I got, but it's about not having too much when I'm out and about. As you know, me and V went to Indonesia last year for 6 weeks and we went around backpacking. And the whole idea was I wanted to be able to capture everything, but I didn't want to be weighed down with loads of equipment. It's taken me a long time to get to where I am now. And I think I probably got it right for me. I'm not saying it's right for everybody, but I'm going to show you some of the bits and pieces I've got, and I'm going to try and tell you the reasoning as well, why I've got it. It will sort of make sense along the way, hopefully. Anyway, let's get started. We're Mark and V, and this is our adventures. I'm going to be filming most of this vlog on an Osmo Pocket 3. It's a camera I've recently bought. I'm really enjoying it, and I have done a little review on it, and I'll put the link there. Anyway, let's get started. The first thing I'm going to show you, this is a camera I've literally bought this week. It's an Osmo Pocket 4. Now, the reason I bought the Osmo Pocket 4 is because I had the Osmo Pocket 3 and loved it. But, and one little but, the microphone that you get with the Osmo Pocket 3, which is this one here, the little Mic 2, doesn't work remotely or wirelessly with the Osmo Pocket 3, but it does with the Osmo Pocket 4, and that's the only reason I've bought this one. Now, I used the Osmo Pocket 3, which I'm hoping the film quality is going to be just as, as good, if not better, on the Osmo Pocket 4 for the entire duration while we were out in Indonesia. So you can see the Indonesia playlist, and you can see all the videos I created on the Osmo Pocket 3. And I've still got it. It's actually, I've just put it up for sale. So if anybody's after an Osmo Pocket 3, that's available, contact me. Not, in fact, that's what this video is about. The reason this camera is so versatile, I used it in all sorts of situations. One thing I did buy for it though, is this cage. It's a small rig cage. And if I can just show you, it's like a metal cage. I'm going to bring it up to you so you can see it there. It's a little metal cage, and we'll take it out there. You can see it's a brilliant. I'm going to put everything I talk about. I will put links down below. They will be Amazon links, and I will get there will be affiliate links. So I will get a small kickback as well if you were to look at it. It's not going to cost you anything, but it will support the channel. Now, I love this small rig cage on here because everything is still accessible. So if I want to get to my battery and memory card, you can see I can just pop that one down, easy. If I need to get to the USB charger, you can see I can get to that as well. You've got this magnetic mount again, so if you wanted to use a magnetic mount, you can do. However, I have found some of my shots when we're out and about, if V's driving, I like to be hanging out the window trying to get some lower shots while we're moving. So I tend to use, I've just bought this Ulanzi tripod. It's an extendable tripod. It's only a cheap one. I can't remember how much it was, but I will put a link below. Really handy, and I don't use the magnetic mount. I just screw this one in, and there you are. And you've got, in my view, this is really, really great. You know, I can sort of do that. I can hang out the window and I can be filming it. Yes, you've got to do a bit of editing afterwards. You could have swapped the, you know, you've got to flip the video around or something like that. But Osmo Action camera, brilliant. And of course you can take it in the water as well, can't you? And it performs really, really well. The only downside to it, I found, if you're not using a mic, which is why I upgraded from the Osmo Action 3, is you get a lot of wind noise. And lo and behold, only 2 days ago, I stumbled across this. Now, that, on the Osmo cameras, you've got your microphones there and there. Now this sits over the lens. I'm just going to do it now while we're talking. Sits over the lens. I'm going to bring it in so you can see it. And you've got foam covering both microphones. So the theory is that will stop the wind noise. So if that does work, that's going to be brilliant. Now I actually I 3D printed that, so it's not something you can buy. It's a 3D print, and that's something I'll come on to a little later, 3D printers. And why do I want a 3D printer when I'm vlogging? I'll tell you later. Anyway, so that's the Osmo Action. Really is a brilliant little go-to camera. I cannot fault it. One other mod I did do as well, there is a microphone up above as well. And I've put a little bit of foam in the case there. So I'm hoping when I start filming with this, there's going to be a huge difference. We will find out. But I do have the advantage I can use the microphone as well. Osmo Action 4. Love it. Now we're going to talk about the Osmo Pocket that you're looking at. And I thought, how can I do this? And I thought, do you know what? I'll use this one. So I am going to film the Osmo Pocket while I'm talking about it. So there you are, that's what it looks like. You can see a bit of my studio in behind actually, can't you? I really like the camera. Well, this is the third Osmo Pocket I've had. I had the 1, I had the 2, and now I've had the 3. I've had a few issues with them along the way, don't get me wrong. 2 years ago, I was in Bali for a few weeks, and the heat actually destroyed the action of the record button. I used it so much it wore the button out. I contacted DJI and they replaced it, and it was out of warranty. So that's really gave me confidence with using their products. They didn't even quibble about it, they just changed it. Anyway, so the Osmo Pocket 3 came out not long ago now. I think it's been out for probably about 3 months, 4 months. It's brilliant. I love the fact it's got a little screen that you can see yourself, so I can see myself clearly now what I'm doing. The menus are really easy to manage, and there are a fair few little accessories that are coming out for it now. You've got the extended battery pack. I bought the Creative Combo pack, so that came with this microphone. It comes with this little bag, which is okay. I'll go on to bags in a little while because I think I'm the master of bags. I've got so many, had so many, and never liked anything yet. Back to the camera. So looking at it, you know, you look at that camera. I'm just gonna come in close now and come down on that camera. It's a lovely piece of kit. It's really tiny and small. I'll put my hand there, you know, so you can see how big it is, and it fits. You know, Osmo Pocket, yeah, but it fits in your pocket. It's got a gimbal, so the footage is really smooth and cinematic. Yes, the Action, you know, has got that type of rock steady, so you know your footage is steady as well, but it's not the same as a gimbal. And of course, having a gimbal will help your nighttime shots be better. So in theory, I haven't tried this yet, but in theory, night times when it gets a little bit more difficult to film, I was finding that the Osmo Pocket 3 was getting a little bit sort of dirty, noisy sort of picture. I'm hoping that this one now, the Osmo Pocket 3, will settle into it, and we'll start seeing soon because we got lots of camping coming up very soon now, so we'll start using it for camping, and we should hopefully find out exactly what it's like. So that's the Osmo Action and the Osmo Pocket. Now the pair of them you could carry around in your coat together, couldn't you, and make a choice of what you're using. You know, we all carry rucksacks around when we're going around doing things, so both of these don't take up any room at all. Yes, this one here has the advantage, I'm just leaning over, this one here has the advantage that you can have extra batteries, all pre-charged, and carry them around. The Osmo Pocket, however, once you've used all your battery up, then you've got to recharge. So that's a little disadvantage here. However, you could plug in a battery pack and have a cable run into it while you're using it, and I have done that in the past. So there's always a way over these issues. Both cameras will shoot in 4K, and the footage is amazing. I've never been disappointed with anything I've seen come out of these cameras, and even the earlier incarnations as well. So filming wise, the only limit is your own ability, and I prove that many times. But if we keep on trying, you'll only get better, won't you? Another camera I have, and I really like, but I tend to not go to it too often, is my Sony ZV10. The picture quality is outstanding. I added the Sigma lens to it, and the depth of field is amazing. I just find the batteries run out really, really quickly, and it's let me down at times when I've needed to have a camera, and so that tends to be one reason I don't take it. And of course, you need a gimbal to get really good shots with this, or I do anyway. You know, you might be better if, but I find I need a gimbal. It's great. You can, you've got the screen. It's a really good screen. You can see that, so you can see exactly what's going on. And a lot of people swear by this camera. I do use it occasionally, not enough probably, and I take it with me when I go away, and I try to use it, but it's one of these things I've bought and really not pushed it enough. But we will try this year. I will try and make an effort and do more with this one. And lastly, one last camera I bought, and this is more for being out and about on my bike, is I bought this Insta360, and I've done a few bits of 360 video with it. Would I buy this now, knowing what I know? And I think I wouldn't, because the video editing process is just so much longer. It's a painstaking process. I've got a plug-in in my video editor now that makes it a little bit easier, but your computer has to be quite beefy to run it. Footage is great because you can, you can do some brilliant stuff on it, and I'll try and include some in this video so you can see what it looks like, as I will do with all the cameras. I will show you footage. I'll mount it on the back of my bike with one of these clamps, so it sat there behind me. And the great thing is, hearing me bigging it up now, the great thing is, if it's sort of filming behind you and it's filming in front of you as well, isn't it? So say for instance one of your mates went past you on their bike and they come past you, you could be filming them from behind and you could just follow forward, and you're doing nothing. All you're doing is that camera's sat there. So in that respect it's great, but there is a lot more involved in the video editing process, and it depends how much time you have on your hands to do a video. I found just recently I'm struggling to get videos out, and I'm trying to streamline the video editing process, but that's probably another video, isn't it? So we'll, if you people want to talk about streamlining video editing, let me know. Maybe there's something we can do. But the Insta360, this is the X2. I think there's an X3 now. I've got it now. I bought it, but would I buy it again? Probably not. If you could have, and they got an action camera now, so maybe if the action camera was as good as the Osmo Action 4 for day-to-day stuff, and the film was standard footage, and then you could just flip into 360 mode, maybe then I would consider it. And I know you can do it with this sort of, but I don't know. Not the camera I prefer, but it's still small. Small, and that's what everything's got to be. Everything I buy, you know. This is a small bit of kit again. You can clamp that onto anything. Although I've just ordered a little bracket for the Osmo Pocket. It hasn't arrived yet, unfortunately. But the Pocket will sit in it, and it's magnetic. So then I can put that anywhere I want and talk to the Pocket. So that's going to eradicate a lot of things again. So, and it's small. And it's all about tiny, small, being able to carry. But this selfie stick, this is an Insta360 selfie stick. And that's really good because you can do a lot of different shots with this, and it folds down tiny. So you can carry that around in your pocket if you want to, in your backpack. And it's, you know, it's not, you ain't got a even great tripod on it. One thing I have found though, if you want to use it as a tripod, you know, if you want to put a little tripod bottom on it, you need a fairly weighty one because it will move around quite easily. Drones, now, are they a toy? Are they a tool? I don't know. I enjoy flying them. I don't fly it nearly enough, but when I do, I really enjoy it. I've had some scary moments. I've had a few cases where I've lost connection to it. I was out in Indonesia and it started flying away and lost all connection. Luckily, the return to home kicked in when the battery got low and it came back. And I don't know why you get so scared. You do, it's natural. I got a DJI refresh package on it, so if it did fly away, they would replace it. Now this one here, this is the Mavic Mini 3. I've 3D printed some more bits here. That's what I'm talking about 3D printing in a minute. It's tiny. The whole bag is small, isn't it? That, you know, there's nothing to it. And that fits in your rucksack, no problem at all. And it gives you some great shots. I think you need to be brave when you're using it, and that's something I'm probably not. You need to push your limits. I've tried some shots with it, and sometimes it feels a little bit scary that you're trying to fly. I've tried flying it from inside the car. We had the roof down on the car. I'll try and find some footage and put it here. And we were driving in the car, and I was trying to follow the car flying, and it's not hard at all. But I found it really, really quite scary. And why should I find it scary? We were in a safe place to do it. Just doesn't feel natural, I suppose. Anyway, a drone, you can get some excellent shots though, and it just gives you a different perspective. I personally love flying it and looking straight down on the edge of beaches and things like that. I think that, I just love that type of shot. I really do. And I like, I did a shot in a little while back where I came up over some hills and revealed like a coastline in behind, and I'll try and find that as well and put it in here. And little things like that, it's just great for, you know, and I just enjoy doing things like that. But they're not expensive, and there's lots of second-hand ones. And talking of second-hand, don't be afraid about buying second-hand. Loads of the stuff I've bought second-hand. We can't afford to buy brand new all the time. Yes, I bought the Osmo Action 4 brand new, but I got a really good discount. I had some DJI credit from buying products. That was second-hand. I bought it off a chap who flew it once, didn't like it, and put it up for sale, and he sold it what I thought was a stonking good price. So, you know, I bought it second-hand. Lots of my bits and pieces, you know, I've bought off other people because, you know, we can't afford to spend out and keep on spending it, can we? It's an expensive hobby. You know, if you can't find what you really like and you keep on pushing yourself, you think you need this, you get, you know, you see something advertised and you see someone else using it on a, you know, you watch a video and they're saying how great this is, and you fall for it. You do fall for it. So you have to bring yourself back down to earth. So if you can buy it secondhand, buy last year's model. If you don't need this year's model, do it. I would have kept the Osmo Action free if it wasn't for the mic. That's the only reason I've gone for it, because what it does is it eradicates the need for another mic to carry around. So I have the Osmo Pocket Mic 1s here, which are again a smaller game, but I think I'll probably sell these now as well. I don't need them anymore, because this one mic I believe it's going to do everything I need. I want to use it a little bit more and just make sure, but it's no point having two lots, is it? You're not going to use it, it's just going to be an ornament on your shelf. Something else you have to think about when you're out and about as well, if you do a lot of footage, if you're going to be away for a while, you've gone away for a break, you've gone abroad, whatever, you might not be able to edit all your footage. I found out when I went to Indonesia last year, I've shot so much footage, I'm still editing it now, I'm coming to the end. So you need something to back your memory cards up on, and just be doubly safe you don't lose any of it. So I have bought SanDisk, these are 1 terabyte drives. I found them to be absolutely amazing. If a little expensive, but they do hold a fair bit, that's 2 terabytes there. However, I ran out of space, 2 terabytes. You would have thought that was going to be amazingly, more than enough, but I ran out of space. So I ended up buying one of these as well. This is a Lacy rugged drive, and that's 5 terabytes. And in comparison, this is a lot cheaper. It's slower performing, so if you're trying to edit, if you've got a MacBook, I've got a MacBook that I use when I'm out and about, editing from these is far easier than editing from that one, because that one's a little bit slower. It's not massively different, but it will make a difference to you. So that's something else you need to think about as well, is storage for your media. We can't all edit immediately, and you might not use all your footage, and you might want to keep it for use later on, who knows? Because you never know when you're making another video whether you need to refer to something that you've done previously. Only earlier I was talking about footage I'd done with the drone, footage I'd done with the Osmo Pocket. Now, if I didn't keep all my footage, I wouldn't be able to do it now. I don't keep it on these long term. I have Synology disk stations that I have bought and put drives in. So your storage, I mean, my profession is IT, so I tend to have a few extra IT bits and pieces for maybe some do, but you want to think about that. If you're going to keep your storage long term, maybe you want to look at like Synology storage or another storage solution, or maybe you don't want to keep it. A lot of people say just delete it. Once you've used it, that's it, don't worry about it and go on. I don't know what your thoughts are. I personally have tried to keep everything I've ever filmed. That's amounting to a lot now. And in my little cupboard behind me, I've got a little bit of an IT rack, and I've got a few storage solutions in there. And when I fill them up, I just power them down, and they're sat there waiting. And I know roughly, a period of time of what the footage is on there. So if I need it again, I just power them up. They're all networked, and I access them again. I'm not saying that that's the way you have to go, because you don't have to have all your bits and pieces networked. You can just have devices that you can plug in, power down. Western Digital do I think it's a 15 terabyte drive now. I've just bought one. It's slow, but it holds a huge amount of data. So you can, when you finish with your data and you're not going to be wanting to read write all the time, just copy it across, power it off, and it's there waiting for you if you need it again, isn't it? You just need to keep a note of where you're putting your data, because if you need it, sometimes you can end up going through a lot of different devices, if you're like me, to find it. But anyway, storage. And down to your memory cards as well. I always carry more than enough memory cards. You can see there's my little memory card case. That's waterproof, it's rugged. I'm going to put links for everything I show you down below, because that wasn't very expensive. And what I tend to do when I'm buying memory cards, I've got a variety here. I've got SanDisk, I've got Samsung, I've got Transcend. I tend to watch Amazon for any deals, and if there's a deal, I'll buy myself a couple of extra memory cards. So I've always got more than I need. Maybe it's a bit expensive to do it that way, but if a memory card fails on you when you're out and about, you could lose important footage. So I think this is, personally, I think it's the most valuable thing you can have with you. Batteries and storage. Now let's talk about lights as well. And over the years, I've bought lots and lots of different lights. However, I am finding again that you might need something with you, you might not. But these little Ulanzi lights are absolutely amazing. You can change the colour on them. can change them up and down. So you've got all these different colours available to you, and you know, sometimes there is a situation where you need a little bit of light. These little lights are tiny. They're light, and they'll fit in your backpack, and they're USB chargeable as well. I use them lots. I'll take them out and about with me. You know, you just might want to cast a different sort of light. It's going to be difficult in here because it's so bright, but you might be just wanting to cast a little bit of a different light to give you a little sort of mood, you know. And you can light things up when you're doing product shots or whatever. I have a few of them now, and Christmas and birthdays come along, and people say to you, oh, what do you want for your birthday? So I tend to put just an Amazon wish list together of relatively inexpensive stuff of what might be handy for what I'm doing. And people tend to buy you these bits and pieces, but I have bought a few bits and pieces as well. But you can see, I'm just going to turn the camera around now. So we're going to come round. Let's come into the studio, and well, I like to call the studio, and I'll show you the various bits and pieces I've got in here as well. And this is just my setup. This is not stuff I necessarily drag around with me, but this is what I use at home when I'm editing. So we'll start off, we'll come down on my desk. I bought DaVinci Resolve quite a while back now, and when I bought it, it came with a free video editor. Now, that has been absolutely invaluable. It's one of the best bits of kit I've got, I think. I'll just come up to the, you can see how I can just scroll through. I'll just come back a bit so you can see my hand there as well. So I can scroll through whatever I'm doing. I find it brilliant. I use DaVinci Resolve. Now, it's free. However, I've paid for the studio version because I got the video editor as well. Absolutely love it. It's brilliant. I've got a Logitech webcam, and that's when I do a video, I'm doing a how-to video, and I'm talking to the, you know, I'm working on the computer, and I want to show my head. I use that and OBS software just to put my head into the video. Now, I've got lots of lights set up around, as you can see. This is just for today. I don't always have them like that. I just cast a bit of light across. I'll put some acoustic shielding. I'm up in the loft up here, and I've found that it was very echoey. So I bought some of these acoustic panels from Amazon, and that has made a huge difference. Well, I hope it has. I think it has. Microphone wise, in here I have this permanently set up. I've got it's a Blue Yeti USB microphone, and I think it's brilliant. I think it's just so easy. When I'm using DaVinci Resolve, I just need to go into the sound, and I can switch on recording, and then, you know, depending which channel I want to record on, set the record, and off I go. I don't have to do any more. I don't have to think about it. So if I think of something, well, I'm editing a video, I can do it. So if I'm doing voiceovers in my videos, that's how I do it. I just go straight in there and put the voiceover in it. I've played about with other bits and pieces as well. I've got an iPad there, which is got teleprompting software on it. I don't get on with it, but that's just me. But teleprompting software is free, so you can just download it. You can get it for your iPhone, you can get it for your iPad, you can get it for an Android device, so it's up to you. And of course, I was talking about 3D printing, wasn't I? So here, I've got a 3D printer, and I use it to print various different bits and pieces. If I'm, you know, for things I'm doing, you know, maybe I'm working on the van, or, you know, I want something. So there you are. There's another one of those wind mufflers before it's been finished. Just got to add the foam into that, and I just print that off. You know, there's loads and loads of bits and pieces you can do with it, and I try to print various bits off that will help me, and it's free. Once you bought the printer, it's free, so that makes things a lot easier. As we come round, I've got this little rack here. and all various bits and pieces I've bought along the way. But I like these little packs, organisers. I'll take a couple of these away with me when I go away, and I have all my various bits and pieces in there. And I'm terrible for buying bits and pieces and finding out I don't like it, but I tend to keep all the things I do use here, even down to that one there. It's got a mobile phone holder. Now, we always carry our mobile phones, don't we? And sometimes that's all you've got with you. So if you've got one of these in your backpack, you know, you can have really nice stable footage while you're talking to your camera as well. So I always try to carry a few bits and pieces with me, and I don't want it to be heavy either. So, you know, it's all about how big you have it. And that takes us on to the backpack, doesn't it? And I said earlier on that I'm the master of like failed backpacks. Now, I said to you, I'm the master of rucksacks, backpacks. Failed master, I think the word is. I've bought so many different ones, and I just cannot settle on any one I like. I'm just going to show you a selection of what I've bought, and you can smile yourself, because I've got more in my garage, and it just, every time I see one I think, oh, that's going to be the one, and really none of them have proved to be any good. Or they're all very good, but I just don't seem to like them. So if you've got a backpack that you think I'm going to love, tell me about it. And I don't like to spend huge amounts of money as well, but I just want something that's light, protects my kit, and easy accessible as well when you're like trying to grab your wallet or trying to grab a new memory card out of it or something. It just needs to be easy accessible as well. And this is, I'll just show you some of the ones I bought, all right, so you can see. Now we're going to start up this end. This is the one I was using in Indonesia last year. It's an American it's an American Tourister. I found it relatively good. It's light. It's got a jacket there, if you have a shower, and most of the pockets are relatively easy to get in. I just kept on thinking there's got to be something better. Now, that has been my go-to bag for a long time, maybe 12 months, because I couldn't find anything better. And then I found this American Tourister bag last year. So I bought it because I thought it was going to be better. I've only used it once, and I'm not sure I like it. It might be good for going on in airplanes, because it will take a lot of stuff, but actually carrying kit around, the pockets are quite bulky, and things just tend to get lost down inside. So I'm not sure if that's the one I'm going to use. I've tried these this year in this Kaka bag. It looked great in the pictures. Honestly, I used it once, gave up, didn't like it. Euro height, I tend to leave lightweight Euro height bags like this in the van, because if I just need something quick, it's handy. And it's cheap, it was a tenner, so it's nothing major. And then I bought this one. This was a Kickstarter project that I invested in, because honestly they made it look so good. There's lots of little pockets on it here, and you've got a pocket there. So you've got like a camera bag inside there, and then inside it's got little compartments. And I thought, I'm just going to try my hand. There, you've got little compartments up there, and it looked really, really great. But do you know what? I took it out once, used it, and really didn't like it either. So there we are. That's just a selection of some of the bags I've got. And then, you know, the little cheap thing I keep in the van, and that's probably used more than most. I just chuck a few bits in there, but I'm looking for something really seriously good. The only thing I have used constantly all the way through is this. We call them bum bags. I think some people call them fanny packs. I can get my cameras in there, wallet, and a memory card. You know, it's got lots of pockets there, extra bits and pieces. And I use that when I'm going out and about night times. You know, if I'm at the shows and I want to carry my camera, I just sling it over my shoulder. And I found that to be more useful than most things I've got. Except it's no good for going on to airplanes and everything, because you want to be carrying more stuff. So please tell me what you've got, because I certainly ain't doing it very well, am I? As you can see there, and believe me, in the garage is more. I would say probably double this again, of just failed attempts of buying bags that I think are going to work for me. So there we are, that's a little tour around of the bits and pieces I use, and there's more stuff. I'd love to know what you're using as well. My whole emphasis is on being light and not carrying too much. Yes, when I've shown you around what I've got loads of bits and pieces. But this is over a period of years where I've bought various different bits and liked it, not liked it. And sometimes you sell it on, sometimes you don't sell it on. If I could bring it down to, you know, the essentials that I always wanted to have with me is the Osmo Pocket, which you're watching on now. I love the footage, I think it's great. There's a very slight depth of field when you're out and about, and I think that's brilliant from a small camera. You know, it's so good, why do you need a bigger camera? I just want something that's, you know, indiscreet, so you can be walking around and people don't pay attention to you. I think that's really important. So my Osmo Pocket, the Osmo Action is just brilliant, it's rugged. I don't worry about hanging out of the car and filming and just doing bits and pieces where, you know, it could take a knock and you wouldn't worry about it. In that small rig cage as well, it absolutely makes me feel so secure. The drone. Do you need a drone? I don't think you need a drone. I like having a drone. I think it's a great thing to carry around, just to get a different perspective, just give you a different view of your surroundings. But I don't think it's essential. So that's the three things, and a really good rucksack. So if you guys know any rucksacks that you think are brilliant, let me know. If there's a manufacturer out there who actually thinks they've got a rucksack that I'm gonna love and they want me to test, send it to me. I'll be honest, because honestly, you've seen the rucksacks I've got there. Ain't got anything yet that I am is 100% convinced. I've got a big trip coming up again this year as well. We're going to be in Indonesia for another 8 weeks, and we're going to be living, working out there, and doing a bit of travelling as well. We're going to Singapore, we're going to be going to Lombok for a journey around Lombok, and we're going to do a few other bits and pieces as well. So if you think you've got something you want to send to me for me to give it a proper test in like difficult circumstances, let me have it, and I'll certainly do that for you. Anyway, that brings us to the end of this video, doesn't it? And I would just like to say to everybody, you've watched mine, go and have a look at the rest of the guys in the Vanover Collective, because they've all got different ideas, and I'm going to be truly intrigued to see what they're doing as well. I would imagine there's going to be a lot of people using small kit, but who knows, they might just surprise me, and maybe one of their videos is going to have the answer I'm looking for as well. Well, this brings us to the end, guys, doesn't it? So if you've stuck with me this long, thank you. I've just been rambling really, and I don't know what I'm going on about, and I'm certainly no expert in this field. It's just what I do. So thanks, genuinely, thanks for watching, and thanks for watching all our videos, and thanks to, we've had a real big influx of new subscribers just recently, and thank you to all of you. We appreciate each and every single one of you. If you see me and V about, come up and say hi and ask for a sticker. We try to have stickers with us nearly all the time, although I did get caught out the other day. Someone saw me when I wasn't really out and about filming and asked for a sticker. I didn't have one. Fail. Anyway, see you later, guys. Look after yourselves and see you in the next video, all right?